Uh-oh, it's time again for another picks card breakdown for the UFC card this weekend. Bautista versus Olivera. Pretty sick main event. Um, as far as the card itself, just looking over it, doesn't look super great. But we're gonna roll through the breakdown and maybe sometimes when I do the breakdown, I'm like, you know what, this card actually looks good. Or I'm like, no, this actually sucks. So why don't we get right into it? Good to see Bobby in the chat. That intro is hella tough. Somebody who is tough is Priscilla Cachoeira. Tried to eye gouge Jillian Robertson. When was that? That was like yesterday to me, but it really, I mean, it wasn't even in the last 5 fights. Where does the time go? But yeah, she's fighting Claudia Segula. Some people have said the most attractive women in the UFC. We all know that it's actually Jessica Andrade, but you know what? She might be in the top 10. But yeah, Claudia Segula basically just fought like people in Poland, like just in random Polish leagues. Actually fought on MMA GP. I'm pretty sure like GP is like some Muay Thai org, and then they do like MMA events sometimes. She made her UFC debut against Melissa Mullins, and she got TKO'd. Came back against Arina Alexieva. Arina Alexieva is pretty bad. Yeah, pretty bad. She beat her basically on the ground, just kind of boring wrestling match. She is a slight favorite here. She's 27 years old, 5'7", 69-inch range. Training at ATT, I think, for a 27-year-old, that's good. ATT is a really big gym. So it can kind of, some people need more like specialized training. I think, and that's why you see a lot of fighters like they'll train at ATT for like a hot minute, and then when they get at a better place in their career, they'll kind of form their own camp, or they'll get like more one-on-one time with some really good coaches over there. For Priscilla, I mean, Priscilla Cachoeira, I mean, she's very, very fun, in my opinion. She can get knockouts and she can get submissions, but at 37 years of age, there's not too much gas left in the tank, but I still think she's a pretty fun fighter, and I think the odds are basically fair on this one. Um, in Priscilla's last 5 fights, she's 2-3, and the wins she has are with a KO. Now she's also been submitted and KO'd in her losses, though, so kind of a get or get got type of fighter. I honestly I do see that Segula does have some KOs on her record. I haven't really seen anything that tells me like, I mean, Arina Alexieva, like another pretty young fighter, decent enough. I think honestly, bro, like I think nothing really tells me like Claudia has a lot of power. I think that Priscilla has got that dog in her. I think one way to beat Priscilla Cachoeira is to take her down and have like some strong grappling. So I think there's a good case to be made that Segula could do that. Ultimately, I'm going to be picking Priscilla Cachoeira here via decision. I actually think she could get a finish here if Melissa Mullins could. Melissa Mullins a little better than Priscilla, a little younger. But I am going to go the safe route. You know me. I'm picking Priscilla to get this one done. Good to see Aaron. He says, member for 2 months. Thank you so much, sir. Hope you're doing well tonight. Kayla Harrison's fine ass. Yes. Do you know who that guy is who replaced Saeed versus Basharat? I have no idea who that is. I did see he's on the card, and we'll kind of talk about it here in a second. It's good to see you as well, Grimy. All right, Muin Gaffarov versus Jacob Wilklatz. Polish guy. He fought Patchy Mix in his last fight, and he won via split decision. And as I was watching the fight, I was like, this is fucking Polish Patchy Mix. Like the good version. This is Polish Patchy Mix. Fights just like him. Serviceable stand-up. Great grappling. And he was the KSW champion. He hasn't lost in his last 5 fights. It's been about 3 years, maybe more. I haven't looked into his record, and this is a pick 'em because like Muin Gaffarov really fun fighter. Like we've seen really, really good stuff from him, but he loses to John Castaneda and Said Nurmagomedov. That was a pretty fun fight, by the way, versus Said Nurmagomedov. A lot of crazy scrambling stuff. Those are his first two UFC fights. Not an easy UFC start. Castaneda decent. Said Nurmagomedov obviously pretty skilled as well. Then he beats Kung Ho Kang via decision. I'm like, bro, like who is Kung Ho Kang? Just some random Asian dude on the UFC roster. Not very fun. But then he beats Rinya Nakamura, who was undefeated up to that point. This is like a year ago. And that was very, very impressive to me. Rinya Nakamura, I would say, has attributes of the last three fighters that he fought. Like, I don't know, very well-rounded fighter, young, undefeated guy. Muin Gafurov gets the W against him, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's turning the corner here. He is 29 years old, and so is Will Klatz. And I feel like Will Klatz has, though Muin Gafurov has 4 UFC fights and Will Klatz only has 1, I still feel like Will Klatz has higher level opponents. You know, just being KSW champ. Now, the one thing I will say about KSW is I honestly don't know what their talent is like in the bantamweight division. I know that like middleweight, light heavyweight, that's where you're going to see a lot of Polish guys like shine a little bit more. But I don't really know how strong the bantamweight division is over there in Poland. Muin Gafurov training at a syndicate, really good gym down there. This kind, and then I think this is a pick 'em for a reason. I think I am. Fuck, man. The thing about Muin Gafurov is like sometimes he looks so bad in a fight, and then sometimes he looks okay, you know. And then I guess like me personally, I've only seen Jacob Wilklatz's fight with Patchy Mix, and I know that there's a lot of narratives around Patchy Mix being a bum, and then if you go that route, then Will Klotz went to split with him. But the style matchup was that was a really competitive fight. Um, I do think that Muin Gafarov's hands are probably better than Patchy's, but I think Will Klotz is going to have a grappling advantage in this fight. Different style of grappling. Like Will Klotz is like a pure grappler. Muin Gafarov being from Tajikistan, obviously having like a wrestling base. Not like a pure grappling, submission grappling base, but a lot of wrestling heavy style. I'm gonna probably lean Muin Gafarov, but I do feel like Will Klotz is a great pick in this one as well. Again, just like that win against Rinya Nakamura, very impressive to me. Do you pick Will Klotz? Not to mention, 3 months ago was when Will Klotz fought Muin Gafarov 1 year ago. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Pick him for a reason. I think it's kind of a toss up here. I could see Will Klotz maybe getting the submission. You saw Said Nurmagomedov kind of outpace Muin Gafarov. Maybe you see that here. I haven't seen enough of this guy to really tell you exactly what this guy's game is going to be heading into a fight with Muin Gafarov. I don't think this fight will be great, honestly, and I think that for that reason it'll be very pedestrian, and Muin Gafarov will end up getting the dub, just having a little bit more power and being better on the feet. So there you go. Kong Wang versus Eduardo Mora. Kong Wang, super fun prospect. I believe she has a win over Valentina Shevchenko in kickboxing. She very fast with the hands, has a lot of power. Very, very hyped up prospect-ish. I mean, she is kind of older, 33 years old. Man, I was really excited for Kong Wang, and then she fought Gabriela Fernandez, who I actually think is very, very good. Fernandez was able to keep up with her on the feet, took her to the ground and bullied her. The thing about Eduardo Mora is I don't think she let's take a look at her UFC wins, right? Like Montserrat Conejo Ruiz, basically a can. Very small fighter for flyweight. She's super, super small. She doesn't have any power. She can wrestle, but that's like all she has going for her. And then obviously Eduardo Mora being a really good grappler and wrestler. Goes the split with Denise Gomez in a loss. If I remember correctly, I thought that Denise had won pretty clearly. Beats Veronica Hardy. Now, this is what really turned the corner for me. I was very impressed with that, and I think it kind of exposed like Veronica Hardy's lack of strength on the ground. And then Lauren Murphy. I mean, geez, Lauren Murphy's been washed for like 5 years. She was washed when she got her title fight against Valentina Shevchenko. But the Veronica Hardy match really tells me how this fight is going to go. Kong Wang, obviously, every round is going to start on the feet. I don't think that's going to matter. And then Ariane Lipski and Bruno Brazil, I would say are basically strikers. Kong Wang bounces back with those 2 wins, but that doesn't give me any confidence in this fight. I honestly, like, it says she's a big favorite. I think Eduardo Mora is going to take her down, and it's going to suck, and everyone's going to be bummed out. I'm picking Eduardo Mora via lay and pray, son. Though I do hope Kong Wang gets that knockout. That would be super awesome. But again, like the grappling deficiency, going to be a big thing for Kong Wang. Hopefully she's been working on that. But, you know, I mean, it's been a year now since she got submitted by Fernandez. Maybe she's been working on it, but at 33, I don't know what else she's really going to be adding to her game. So I'm picking Mora via decision. All right, Javid Basharat versus Gianni Vasquez. Now, if we take a look here at Mr. Gianni Vasquez, he is on quite the run. Let's pull up his record on Tapology. And then I didn't even know that he was stepping in short notice, so thank you, Grimy, for letting me know. 13-4-1. He is 31. Okay, he's got a dub in LFA. He's got a win. Up Next Fighting. I don't know what that is. Got some submissions and knockouts. He did fight in Fury, went 2-1. Let me see. So right now he's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight win streak. 2 decisions, 2 KOs, and a Anaconda choke. You know what? I've never heard of this league. I wonder. Funny enough, his last loss is to Edgar Chairez. Weird. I've never heard. Oh, he did fight in Luke's. See, this is what this is a problem to me, right? How do you go from fighting in LFA, Fury, Luke's, Combache Global, and then like you go fight in UNF, United Fighting League? That's a little bit weird to me. Now, obviously, he went on a run there and he got some second round finishes. His opponents were 14-9, 4-1, 7-2-1, 8-4, 7, 14-7. Yeah, I don't. And he beat the same guy twice. What the fuck? Stopped them in the second round both times. Super, super strange to me. I don't like that. I don't like that you go from fighting in very reputable regional leagues and then you go fight in whatever the hell UNF is. I've never heard of that. I don't claim to know everything about MMA or like every MMA promotion, but if I haven't heard of it and you are on a 5-fight win streak and you're fighting the same dude twice after fighting in LFA, Fury, Luke's, Combache Global, that doesn't tell me a lot about your current win streak. Now, on the side of Javid Basharat, I think we all know that Farid is the much better fighter. He hasn't been super, super active, but active enough. And he took a reasonable amount of time after the Ricky Simone KO. So 11 months, he's back. But he's only he's 30. Like this dude's 31. Basharat's 30. Training at Extreme Couture. I don't know. I mean, I remember Mendonça and Tony Gravely, decent fighters, not great. I think that Javid probably dodged a bullet with Said Nurmagomedov. I think Said Nurmagomedov would have cooked him. I think that this guy is a little out of his league here. I'm going to be picking Javid Basharat. I don't really think he's great, but I think he's definitely good enough to get a dub over this dude. Um, I mean, Johnny Vasquez, his run in Fury and Kabache and LFA weren't bad, and Luke's like weren't bad, but I just don't get it. I don't know why you go fight a bunch of cans, and I think that just that alone, um, maybe some UFC jitters, all that fun stuff. I'll be picking. That's gonna tip it to Javid for me. Good to see Andrew in the chat. Lazy bed. Vasquez is pretty good. Is up next, fighting flyweight champ, probably past due for UFC title shot. So he's flyweight champion. He's fighting at UFC title shot. Oh, UFC shot. Okay, flyweight, and he's moving up to bantamweight, huh? Oh, by the way, Lazy Bed, you got a membership. Be sure to join our Discord. You can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, or if you need me to, I'll drop a new Discord link in a membership post. But yeah, you got a membership, so take advantage of it, my friend. I didn't realize this card had some names on it. Vasquez is the guy who was choked to sleep in a triangle, then armbarred while unconscious as the ref watched in fury. Ooh, that's bad. I remember seeing that a while ago. That's so bad. That's terrible. All right, well, that's that guy. Bruno Brazil versus Ketlin Souza. I mean, listen, I'm sick of Bruno Brazil. She fought Shi Ming. If you don't know who Shi Ming is, she's like that doctor that got that gnarly head kick knockout on like was it Contender Series or something. And it's like, brother, like Bruno Brazil beat the brakes off of poor little Ming Shi, and she didn't finish her, and it pissed me off. And so I'm like, nah, you suck. She is 3-2 in her last 5, and has a loss to Kong Wayne and Loma Luke Boonmi. And so looking at those two losses, like kind of like smaller, more explosive strikers. Loma, not so much. I think that Ketlin Souza is a similar style matchup. Now, obviously, she's not looking good. And so she beat Marnik Man, who's basically a can. And they beat Yasmin Jauregui, who was like a pretty hyped up prospect at one point. And I even thought, like, oh, this shit's too fucking bright, dude. What is happening here? Let's turn that down. I thought that Yasmin Jauregui would do really good in the UFC and just like didn't. Just didn't at all. I think she's a little aggressive. But anyway, I think that like I could see how Ketlin Souza could give Bruno Brazil problems. Bruno Brazil is very good. She has really nice kicks at distance. She's not great on the ground. Not great, but good enough. I think that Ketlin Souza is decently well-rounded. If I'm remembering correctly, yeah, she got knee barred by Karine Silva. Lost to Angela Hill via split decision. You didn't see that coming. The loss to Piera Rodriguez, though, I was like, bro, like you ain't beating Piera Rodriguez. Like, she's still very. Oh no, I thought she was younger. She's 30. From Manaus, the country literally in the Amazon jungle. She's undersized for the division. I'm gonna be riding with Bruno Brazil here. I think she got her confidence back up. Just beating the crap out of that poor little Chinese woman, man. That was messed up. And that was stupid too, because that was like headlined our road to UFC card. So random. I'm picking Bruno Brazil here via decision. I don't have high hopes for either one of these ladies in the strawweight division. And what happened to strawweight? Strawweight used to be so fun. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I'm going with. Bruno Brazil, just much better striker. Probably better as far as the submission game goes. Just grappling in general. Ketlin Souza needs to figure some shit out, man, because she's on a bad run as of late, and she only has like, I mean, besides the Yasmin Jauregui win, like, in the last couple of years, like you beaten is Marnik Man, like, so there you go. All right. Nikolay Veretennikov versus Nico Price. Very weird, interesting fight to me. How is Nico Price still in the UFC? I mean, he had this dog shit fight with Alex Morono. That's the only win he's had in 3 years. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, he beat Jacoby Smith, or Jacoby, I think that's how you say his name. Or sorry, he lost. Jesus Christ, he lost to Jacob B. Smith. He got cooked by this guy too. Themba Garimbo, Robbie Lawler. Oh my God, he let Robbie Lawler knock him out in his retirement fight, and I almost thought the fight was fixed because of just how easy it was. And then Phil Rowe, and all you beat was Alex Morono. This fight was so bad, dude. So I made me want to bang my head against the wall. He's 36. You know what? I know why he's in the UFC. He's got like 7 kids. If you guys didn't know that. He's 36. So is Olivera Tennikov. What the hell? I would have thought he was like a young dude. But he lost a split to Danny Barlow back when Barlow was still like considered a good prospect. Got TKO'd by Austin Vanderford. Split decision with Francisco Prado. And then in the Punahele fight, I actually thought that he looked all right. And he got worked on the ground. I don't think Nico Price is like a strong wrestler, but he was doing okay on the feet. This is a dumb fight. A bunch of cans. Nico Price is interesting though. He could still knock a dude out from some crazy way. I think Nico Price is washed. I don't think Nikolai Veretennikov is good. This is kind of a trap fight. I wouldn't bet on this stupid fight. I mean, 80% of people were picking Veretennikov. I guess you kind of have to at this point. But I did not realize they were the same age. A lot more UFC experience for Nico Price. He's been in the UFC a long time. And he also sealed the career of James Vick as well. I would say, dude, Nico Price is fighting better guys, though. He's fighting, like, Alex Morono's on this card. This is what ruins this card for me. It's like, Nico Price and Alex Morono are on this fucking card. Ugh. Gross. Nikola Veretennikov is fighting, like, the new breed, and Nico Price, he's fighting the new breed a little bit, but oh my God, this is such a stupid fucking fight, dude. I'm just gonna rock with Nico Price. Nico Price KO round 2, baby. I don't know. That fight's dumb and I hate it. Another fight that's really dumb and I hate is stupid Alex Morono. I hate him so much. Get out of here. Go away. I don't even want to talk about Alex Morono. He sucks. He used to be okay, but he sucks and he gasses out and I hate him. I hate looking at his face. Seems like a nice guy. I don't want to be too mean, but yeah, he's on 3-fight losing streak hilariously. A bunch of dog shit, terrible fights, and then he got knocked out by Carlos Leal, which was hilarious. And he hasn't had a win in ever. Oh wait, no, he beat Court McGee, another washed fucking welterweight. Alex Morono will be fun for. He's got a gas tank for about 2.5 minutes, and then he's just gassed. He's just fucking gassed. He's 35 years old. I mean, dude, I can't stand this guy anymore. But he's fighting this random man, Danil Donchenko, who has one UFC win 4 months ago against a guy I've never heard of in my life. And then he fought on Niza, which I've been meaning to watch Niza. It looks pretty fun. It's like a feeder league, I think, to Octagon with a C, and then instead he went to the UFC. I think Niza has got some pretty decent competition. Dude, this guy's like plus 600 as the favorite. Now, the one thing I will say about Alex Morono is he is pretty tough. Kind of harder to finish unless your name is Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal is he's a pretty good striker though. Very precise, has a lot of power. I'm hoping this guy, let me see. Does he have submission wins? He's got an elbow KO, ground and pound, rear naked choke. He does. I'm hoping Danil Donchenko knocks Alex Morono out in the second round. I can't stand Alex Morono anymore. I don't know if I've said it anymore, and I'm just sick of talking about him. Okay, Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. Dustin Jacoby, very fun fighter. I really like Dustin Jacoby's run, and then he got stopped against Alonzo Menefield and Dominic Reyes. Or no, he lost to Menefield, got stopped by Dominic Reyes in a fight I thought he should win. Since then, he's got 2 knockouts, and he also knocked out Kennedy and Zechiku. Julius Walker, I mean, honestly, he's actually surprised me in the UFC. He had wait, no, this fight I think sucked against Menefield, and then am I like maybe I'm thinking of Billy Helicana, honestly. I can't remember this guy. The name rings a bell, but I'm trying to think here. He went to split decision with Rafael Cerquera. Yeah, Dustin Jacoby's definitely knocking you out, buddy. Well, you know what though? He's only got the one loss, and it is to Menafield. Man, I'm always hesitant to pick a guy to get knocked out who hasn't been knocked out or taken a lot of damage. I do think that Julius Walker can wrestle. Well, and that fight's starting to come back to me against Cerquera. I think that fight sucked too. Can wrestle a little bit. This is kind of striker versus grappler a little bit, but like Julius Walker isn't great anywhere. He might surprise us in this fight. He actually might surprise us in this fight. 26. How long has it been? 5 months. 37 years. 10-year age difference here in this fight. Dustin Jacoby has a lot of miles on him. I love bringing this up. So he fought in this like tournament. I believe this like random like tournament was like one round was boxing, one round was MMA, and one round was like kickboxing or something. And he won the tournament and he got a win in each individual round. So he's probably the only guy ever to get a win in kickboxing, boxing, and MMA all in the same night. But anyway, he has a lot of miles on him. Had a whole kickboxing career. I mean, it's basically his 31st fight to 8 fights of Julius Walker. Still really young. I don't know if Dustin Jacoby knocks him out. He's not really like a devastating knockout puncher. He's kind of more like a volume puncher and like hits you in that precise spot and kind of wilts you away, you know? I think Dustin Jacoby's going to win this fight. I don't know if he knocks out Julius Walker. I'll pick him to knock him out in the third. I think maybe late second, early third round. I think that just the volume and stuff is going to be too much for Mr. Julius Walker. But who knows? Maybe Julius Walker kind of wrestles Dustin Jacoby. Maybe gets a TKO himself. You know what? I am kind of biased towards Dustin Jacoby, so that's just me. Gene Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat, the better of the two Basharat brothers, undefeated. I think that some people thought he might have lost one of his decisions that he won. His last fight was a win over Chris Gutierrez, who was gonna bring you to a decision. I don't know who Victor Hugo is. Titolapolis, kind of the same thing. I did submit Clinton Rodriguez and then beat Damone Blackshear, which is a really good win. Gene Matsumoto, he looked like the real deal to me. That Brad Katona fight was really fun, and I was like, man, this guy's really good. He looks really fun. But then I kind of should have I'm like, dude, you're getting into a brawl with Brad Katona, and then he loses to Rob Font, a very close fight. Beating Miles Johns in a really close fight. I think, Miles Johns, another really, really well-rounded fighter. I think he's kind of. I was really looking forward to Gene Matsumoto's career. I mean, he is still very young. I think that Farid Basharat's going to be a step ahead of him basically everywhere. He's a technician. Gene Matsumoto, I think, could probably. Dude, Farid Basharat's going to be so much faster than him on the feet. I think he's going to be outsized in this fight. No. Wow, he's actually the bigger fighter. Holy shit. Nah, Farid Basharat's got this in the bag, dude. Very good grappler, very good. Not a lot of power on the feet. I think if anyone was to have the, punching power advantage, it would be Gene Matsumoto. Could catch him, but I think Farid Basharat, very technical, very good footwork, decent grappling as well. I think he's got this one in the bag. 327, baby. All right, this fight, another really stupid fight, but it should be fun. Somebody's getting finished in this fight. Oleg Sejcik, obviously, he had a just horrible run. Got clowned by Michel Pereira, got his arm broke by Kevin Holland, and then he got cooked by Shara Magomedov. Since then, he's beaten Dumas and Gerald Meerschaert. He's on the can-crushing tour. The Bum of the Month tour, and your Bum of the Month for Mikhail Oleg Sejcik is now Marc-Andre Barriel, who has had a terrible run himself. He had that close fight with Chris Curtis, and he got knocked out by Pfeiffer and Stoltzfus back-to-back. comes back with a knockout over Bruno Silva, and then he loses to Sharon Magomedov by decision. I think that Marc-Andre Barrial, the thing about him is he's always got a puncher's chance. The guy has a lot of power. Another guy that I feel like doesn't have a lot of cardio. Now, everybody's, there's been a big talk about Oleksiejczuk moving to the Fighting Nerds gym. People are like, "Oh, he's gonna go on a run." He might beat Marc-Andre. I probably will pick him to beat Marc-Andre, who's very chinny. But I don't have high hopes for Oleksiejczuk. I think that the dude still kind of sucks. Yeah. What is there really to say on this fight? I'll pick Oleksiejczuk via KO in the second round. I think that the gas tank of Burial will be drained enough and he'll get sloppy. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk probably catches him in an exchange, knocks him down, and then finishes the job off on the ground. Everybody's favorite fighter, Jelton Almeida, versus a man named Rizvan Kuniev, who fought in Eagle FC 3 years ago. 3 years and 10 months ago. Then he went to the PFL. And then he got a knockout on Contender. And then they're like, let's just have him fight Curtis Blades. By the way, he did have a couple of fights in the UFC. He's been on Contender Series twice. What the fuck? And then they're like, you know what? He's going to fight Curtis Blades. And then it goes to split. And you're like, okay, that was stupid. And I think that Kuniev had like hurt him at one point or something. And then like Curtis Blades just like dominated the rest of the fight. I can't remember exactly how that fight went. But yeah, you're like, what? Why did he fight Curtis Blades? I think he had a decent enough showing in that fight. Jelton Almeida, a fighter who I really like, by the way, despite everybody saying he sucks, and I know he went to split decision with Volkov, and I know he didn't land any ground and pound, and I know he just laid on the guy, but I fucking think Jelton Almeida is really, really good. I think he wins this fight here. I think he gets a submission. Who do I get? He's not gonna get a submission. Fucking A, dude. The thing, I mean, it's like, dude, you couldn't do shit to Volkov on the ground. You get this Russian ass dude from Dagestan. That's good. You know what? I think that's actually gonna cause the submission to happen. I think that Kuniev is gonna be more willing to, move on the ground. I think that's Jelton Almeida is gonna catch him in the RNC somewhere in the second round. Yeah, let's go. Redemption arc for look at this. Look how happy he looks in that picture. I mean, come on. Redemption arc for the GOAT, Jelton Almeida. Amir Albazi is gonna get worked like a summer job by Kyoji. Kyoji might even TKO him at some point. I didn't even know, honestly, bro. Like, I didn't even know who Amir Albazi was. Like, I watched Francisco Figueiredo. Oh my god, this is Davison Figueiredo's brother. He was not good in the UFC. I remember that guy. I like forgot who he was. I was like, who is this man? Because I've seen him fight, but like barely. And he's barely been in the cage the last couple of years, man. And then he has that fight with Brandon Moreno, which he does nothing in. He just stood there and let Brandon Moreno beat the crap out of him. So you're like, okay. Amir Albazi is a strong grappler. I don't really have anything else to say about him. Love Kyoji Horiguchi. I think everybody really does. Look at this man on a 4-fight win streak. Makoto Shinryu, Sergio Pettis, Zulu. That was kind of a can crush. And then he beats Tagir via sub. And then people were like, "Oh, bro, like Tagir, he's got grappling like Kyoji hasn't seen." I'm like, brother, he fucking he hung in there in the grappling with Hiramosa Ogikubo and Shinryu. That's gonna be nothing for him. And I feel like that's really all Amir Albazi has here. Like, I think he does swing big. He could catch Kyoji. Other than that, like, what the fuck is Amir Albazi gonna do? Super stoked to see Kyoji get a finish against Tagir. I don't think he'll get a finish here. I'm gonna pick him by decision because, again, though Amir Albazi kind of sucks, like he only has 2 losses, bro. Like, it's not like he's out here getting knocked the fuck out. Like, Brandon Moreno definitely fucked him up. I don't think Kyoji Horiguchi is gonna do the same amount of damage to him. But I think it'll be extremely one-sided, and you'll see like a 30-27 for Kyoji Horiguchi. This card will be awesome because the GOAT Kyoji is on it. Yes. Sorry, I've been missing. I didn't even know anyone was commenting anymore. Your hair grows fast. Yes. Jacoby writing that 2 KO within 2-year win streak. Yes. Uploading stuff on my client's YouTube channel, so I have to. Oh, okay. Yes, the crush flag. Thank you. I think this fight will be fun. Sorry, I literally thought people stopped commenting. I didn't think anyone was watching. Y'all got ham hocks? Give me a bucket of donkey teeth. Hey, thank you, Isha. Rizvan might pull an upset. No, I think he totally could. What is going on with Jalton Almeida these days? Jalton Almeida these days. In Phoenix tonight, pretty cool city. Yeah, it's hot. I haven't spent a lot of time in Phoenix. Phoenix is huge. It's just like one side of Phoenix to the other is and it makes no sense. It's like in there in the desert. Me too. I love Jalton Almeida as well. Hook her brother up some of that cornbread and a cup of lard. Let's see. It may. What? All right. Main event. Mario Bautista versus Lok Dog. Listen, I like Vinicius Oliveira. He's really dope. The dude's dope. But then if you look at his names, the Ricky Simone fight, really, I thought Ricky Simone would beat him, and he did fucking not beat him. Vinicius Oliveira fucked him up, dude. He beat Saidner Magomedov and Kyler Phillips, who looked promising at one point, but just is what it is. Man, I don't know. Saidner Magomedov, decent opponent. And then Ricky Simone, those are his two best wins right there. I think that Mario Bautista, he's similar-ish to Ricky Simone and Saidner Magomedov. Ish. I mean, he's a much more dangerous striker at range. Very good grappler. I mean, just look at the guys he's had to fight, right? Umar, Patchy, Aldo. People hated that Aldo win because he just held Aldo up against the cage. Ricky Simone, he fucking destroyed as well. And Damone Blackshear, he's had to work on his grappling. I remember Mario Bautista as a striker, and then he's just forced to work on his grappling. So he's I think he has very high fight IQ as well in that regard. He's just fuck it, I'll grapple with dudes, whatever. And he did well against Umar in the wrestling department. I think that he has high enough fight IQ that he could make this. It's a tough fight to pick, dude. The thing about Lok Dog is have we really seen him tested yet in the UFC? And I don't think we have. And sometimes that's a statement on how good a fighter is. Okay, we haven't seen them tested. But I just don't think again, I thought Ricky Simone would beat him, right? But it's I don't really think we've seen a guy this will be his best win. This is his best opponent. Make no mistake about it. Again, dangerous striker, pretty good grappler, a guy who's been forced to work on grappling. Look at all those guys that he's fought that are just heavy grapplers. I do like Lok Dog a lot. I like Mario Bautista as well. I think he's the more well-rounded of the two. I don't know how much that'll matter. You'll probably see V Olivera get the dub. I don't think he knocks out Mario Bautista. Dude, this is a fucking tough fight, dude. And that's what's cool. Man. It's a tough fight to pick, and I think that's going to make it a very fun fight. Top of the heap at Bantamweight. Love this fight, dude. I do think, you know what? Hold on, we got to check something out here. UFCstats.com. Where's my... I have these stupid glasses for when I look at stats, but I don't got them right now. Well, let's take a look at the numbers here, because it's a very close fight. All right. So let's see. I'll show this right here. So it says they both switched stances. It looks like Bautista going to be 2 years older. Strikes landed per minute, pretty similar. Striking accuracy, pretty similar. Here's where, dude, this is crazy. And I think Mario Bautista has fought a lot better guys. Strikes absorbed per minute, 4 to 2, almost 3, dude. That's super low. Dude, their stats are really similar. Just that strikes absorbed per minute's a lot different. Takedowns on average very similar. Takedown defense way higher for Lok Dog. But again, I think you kind of have to take. I mean, shit, he fought Saidner Magomedov and Ricky Simone. Very interesting. The stats favor Lok Dog heavily in this matchup. Big fucking time. That strikes absorbed per minute versus Lok Dog's is crazy. He's absorbing strike and a half more per minute than Lok Dog. That's going to be really consequential, especially at the high level. I don't think Lok Dog knocks out Rick. I don't think you see a knockout in this fight, but this is a cool ass fight. This is a really cool fight, man. Dude, I don't even know. Those strikes absorbed per minute for Bautista kind of make me sway in the way of Lok Dog. By the way, we got some more people in here. Good to see you guys. Mario KOs Vinicius in round 1. What's up, WMC? Bautista has insane fight IQ. That's what I'm saying. Olivera be tripping over his own feet. Does take a lot of risks. Lok Dog, what up, cuz? Where does Ongbok fit in all this? That is a great question. I think Vinicius Oliveira brings that Muay Thai style to the cage, with those knees. So there you go. That's how you fit Ongbok. Good to see you, though. Who do you think ends up getting the 100K for fight of the night? What kind of question is that? Nah, good to see you, Mystic. It's probably going to be the main event, bro. I don't know. All these fights are dumb. You know who's going to get it? Nikolai Veritenikov and Nico Price, baby. That's what it's going to be. No, all these fights are stupid as hell. Yeah, it's going to be the main event, bro. Duh. Isn't it like usually the main event? Yeah. Good to see you though, Mystic. I hope you're doing well. Strikes absorbed, yes. 1.5 strikes per minute ain't shit. Well, I mean, okay, but like when you think about fighting at the highest level of a division, especially like the Bantamweight division, a lot of these guys that are very, very good, they're only better than each other by like a very small margin. So in my opinion, when you take into account that this is I don't know if the Olivera is ranked. If he's not, I'd be surprised. It is actually very significant in my opinion. Your mileage may vary, but I actually would disagree. I think it's very significant to absorb a strike and a half more per minute when you're talking about like a game of inches, which I think this will be a close fight. I think that sways it heavily. Fight of the night isn't usually the main event. It's usually on the main card. Or it's like, fighters with bigger names. They usually sway it in their favor. No, I think it makes a huge difference. Especially in a fight, I think it will be mostly striking. Now that stat you have to take into consideration, like, you have to take into consideration that who has V Oliveira really beat? Like Bernardo Sopai, Victor Madrigal. And now again, the Ricky Simone and the Saidner Magomedov fights. I don't know if those guys are really striking, at a crazy pace with him. But definitely like Kyler Phillips would have been trying to. But Bautista, he's just fought guys that were so much better than the opponents that V Oliveira has fought. But this is this time. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going V Oliveira. In a 5-round fight, that's 38 more strikes. That's crazy to think about, dude. That's so significant. And obviously, you know, that's not saying like this is exactly what will happen, but it's a really good marker of what could happen. Yeah, WMC, I don't even know why you're here. Like, you know, all I ever hear from you, from other people, is like, yo, WMC says that you're boring. He says that you're dry. Like, I think you're just really drunk and just looking for a place to hang out. You know, it's funny, guys. Funny story about Western Mass Climber. He told me, he's like, yeah, man, I'm just happy that I'm like a mod for, you know, certain MMA channels. I'm like, what? I got a news flash for you, WMC. Being a mod for a MMA YouTube channel means literally nothing. It's probably one of the least significant things ever. So there you go. Ricky Simone still lays concrete during the day. What? UFC ain't paying him? That's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, he's a PNW guy. He's a PNW guy. So I've never really thought too much of. I like Ricky Simone a lot, but I think his upside is we've seen the peak of his powers. Modship is key. I mean, it's funny though that like somebody would be talking about being a mod on a YouTube channel like it's an accomplishment. It's not. But anyway, that's it. Those are the picks for me. Let's see who's in the Topology League. Who is in the Topology League? We got to get some more people in our new Top League, which is in the channel description, by the way. Let's see if anyone's tried to join. Nope. Matua made his picks. Love to see that. You missed one fight, though. Oh, probably because the Saidner Magomedov dropped out. Yeah, we got the Topology League. Could win $200 by the end of the year. Be sure to check that out. And then obviously we've got our membership, Topology League. That's $400 for the year. No donations necessary for the regular Topology League. You have to be a member of the channel to get into the membership Topology League. So, all right, guys. All right, cool. I'm quitting my job for this mod. What did you say about mods? Oh, there's this guy that thinks that being a mod is like an accomplishment. Can you put your moderator from an MMA YouTube channel as a resume? You could try. You can put it on your dating app profile too in order to keep women away. WMC doesn't date. That's funny. Scratch all that. Give me some fried okra and an old cellar door. Oh, that's such a great Key and Peele skit. All right, guys, I'm out. We'll see you guys Friday. We'll probably see you tomorrow morning for One Friday Fights. I need to watch some Friday Fights back. Catch up. I want to give like commentary for the highlight reel that I start coming out with every week. So I'll probably end up watching some of those fights back. All right, guys. You guys have a good night, and thank you guys for joining. All right, peace.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Man, you want some too? You better wrap it up.